Welcome to MTG Ownage. Going to just do a quick video here that I debated on whether to do or not, and it's basically like a collection update video because I just started playing Magic about when War of the Spark came out, like just after that. That's how I take note is by which set was out. So I started playing Commander for the first time in a long time. Yeah, about 2 years ago, approximately, maybe 2.5 now. I don't know. I've kind of lost track, but it was right after War of the Spark came out, and I've started building up my collection. So I started playing Magic when I was really young, like 11, and I picked it up on my own. And I saw it in the store. I loved the game, and I just started like figuring it out. So I played all during my childhood, and I loved the game. Long story short, I didn't keep my collection into my adulthood. So now I'm 37, and that's a lot of years later. And I started rebuilding my collection just a couple years ago with some new goals in mind, you know, and some new ideas. I really wish I did more to protect my collection when I was young. I didn't realize that it was so vulnerable, and you could lose so much so quick, kind of thing. Because we'll say what happened to my collection was a very unfortunate accident that I didn't really have a whole lot of control over, other than like I could have like locked my cards up better. So anyway, I just wanted to get that out of the way so you kind of understand that I haven't been collecting for 20 years or something, like literally 2.5 years. And I feel like I've come pretty far, because you can definitely dump money into this game and get a lot of cards, but also I've kind of made my goals somewhat defined. So we're just going to go through some cards, and I'm going to show you some cards that I have. It's just a state of the collection. My goal this year, 2021, was to get all 10 dual lands from Revised. That was the main thing. So I watched a lot of auctions and stuff on eBay and tried to pick some that looked good, and lo and behold, I did get them. So we're going to show you those and a bunch of other stuff. Obviously I bought some secret layers. You guys have seen some openings on the channel, and I kind of want to like keep most premium cards. So we're just going to go through some stuff. There's a foil Morophon in my collection. These secret lair cards, I'm on the fence about these. Like, this is a super cool card worth around $50, but anyone could have just got it by getting that secret lair, so it's not that special. I feel like that with a lot of the secret lair cards. It's just a regular Athreos. Xenagos here. So I've got a lot of pretty secret lair cards, sure, but those I don't feel like are that special yet. Maybe they will be at some point in the future. So you'll see a lot of those. That's a foil Dead of Winter. And, Bitter Blossom, Secret Lair, Eureka there, foil, Sisay. And, some of these cards might not belong in these cases. Karametra. But what I really want to get to is the big boys, so we're going to speed it ahead. Okay, there's a Force of Negation. Very nice. This Terror of the Peaks is foil. That's pretty nice. We got a foil full art Godzilla, which is very nice. I love it. Stained Glass to Healy. I don't think that's that big. I got Force of Will here. I love Force of Will. I think that's I don't know. It's probably light play. A nice full art foil Nyx Bloom Lotus. Mana Matrix, which spiked very suddenly at one point. I picked this thing up for about $20, and then it spiked to $250, which blew my mind. Not the perfect condition one, but still pretty nice. Very happy to have the card, especially for what I got it. I was very proud. I'm glad sometimes you just got to bite the bullet. You see a card and you just kind of have a feeling about it. You should probably pick up a copy. I don't know. Use your own discretion. Volash Stronghold, similar story. And now here's a beauty. Here's a Badlands. And a Wheel of Fortune. Oh, I think I got a couple Wheel of Fortunes. This one has a little damage at the top from someone that permanent markered it, unfortunately. But it's also kind of heavy play. I don't mind these heavy play ones because I don't feel so bad sleeving them up and playing them and stuff. There's Scrubland. And there's an Underground Sea. This one's pretty nice. There's a Bayou. That one's pretty nice too. I know it's hard to see the condition in this video, but I did, examine them closely. They're all real, no fakes here. A Tropical Island there. Tundra there. A Plateau. And that's just a small section of these. Oh, we'll show a few more. There's a second Badlands. There's a scrubland, or not scrubland, savanna. There is a volcanic island. So the collection is steadily growing. There's another scrubland. There's another tropical island. And taiga is in a deck. So taiga is somewhere in here in one of my decks. That's the only one I'm playing right now. I could play them all, obviously. They're very easy to slip in any deck they belong in. But the rest of the stuff, let's see. I'll flip through it real quick. There's a foil Sunbaked. Nice card. Karanos, God of Storms. Ilea, God of the Hunt. Nice hidden path there. Not super big. Another Force Negation. You're going to see a lot of Force Negation. Another Force Negation. I opened a lot of Modern Horizons, and I pretty much kept all the Force Negations because I couldn't bear to sell them. A little stained glass Teferi there. Very nice addition to the set. Ghidorah, King of the Cosmos. I love this card. It's not that great, but it's really cool. I can't bear to get rid of it. Emrakul, just a standard copy. You know, he's a big boy. Or Uro. Nice Como, Demonic Tutor, Yarok, just plain copy, probably doesn't belong in a case. Some of these I don't really need to have in a case, I just kind of left them there. Lackey. Kesa, not sure why I have her in there. Stained Glass Nicole Bolas, I love it. Foil Chaos Guile, Foil Fiery Islet, just a Dark Steel from Secret Lair, Foil Shark Typhoon, Foil Thassa, you know, oh, these are just Secret Lair ones. There's Foil Thassa's Oracle. We got this guy, Foreign, the Mecha Godzilla. Old Mana Echoes. We'll go a little quicker. Marin. Because I just want to wrap this up with just like a few last things. I'm not going to show my entire collection, but just kind of some of the big stuff. Another Foil Fiery Islet. A lot of these don't need to be in cases. Like this is like a $10 card. It probably should be in a case because these are really intended for like 100 and up cards. But you know, it's a Stone Calendar, pretty beat up one. A lot of these in this, I still got to do some sorting. There's Myriad Weatherlight, Duelist. Maybe I could do 50 and up with these cases, but whatever. Mothra, Foil Force of Vigor, Dillian Click, Sprite, Click, Stained Glass Karn, Perforos, Ulamog, Kethis, Ink Eyes, another Force Negation. I did have a foil Force Negation at one point, but I did trade that into a dual land, so not sad. Another Stained Glass Teferi, Narset, and Kea. And that's really only the tip of the iceberg there. The big thing in this really is the dual lands. But this box here, this little Deez box, is just stuffed full of my most valuable cards. So this whole box is probably worth a ton. It's just going to take too long to go through all of these cards in here, but I have them somewhat separated by color and just a lot of... I kind of tried to do like the 10 and up cards in here in general, but some of these might belong in cases. It's not that it's not perfectly sorted, because I am frequently like editing these commander decks. I've got, I believe, 11 commander decks at this point, and most of them, card value wise, when I scan them all, tend to be around $1,000. So there's a good chunk in here. Well, some more, some less. Like obviously the one with Taiga and stuff is huge. I've also got like a ton of Wrenn and 6s. I don't know what it is. If I open a set that has a possibility of a Wrenn and 6, I pretty much always get a Wrenn and 6, and I've opened so many Wrenn and 6s, which I should probably be happy about, right? But I've got more than I can play at this point. I'm just trying to find one here. There you are, buddy. So I know a lot of people will trade cards they don't use, but I mean I do just a little bit. But obviously I want to get certain really special collectible cards. And I often try to get stuff before they spike, like Jessica's Will I saw was going to spike. I picked up a few extra for the future because why not? So I did the same thing with some other stuff like Shadow Spear back in the Theros days because that was kind of a no-brainer when that was at like $2-3 that it was obviously going to be worth more. And I made a video way back in the day about that, and I think it got like 2 views or something. So if people would have watched that video and bought a bunch of Shadow Spears, they'd be rich. But I think I was probably the only one who followed. But you know, that's the thing. You got to follow your own direction. People are going to have opinions about whatever you're doing, and you basically just have to ignore them. That's life. You got to find your own path. I don't want to make this a huge lecture, but I've learned that with Magic too, because I used to kind of trust that people would try to do the right thing or whatever, and that's not the case. Some people might. You're just totally lucky if people try to do the right thing. Basically, you got to kind of expect that you need to stick up for yourself and do your own thing, make your own path. That's my opinion, but getting a little off topic. All right, so there's a lot of the big boys in there, and I've got other semi-valuable cards in here. A bunch of black, bunch of red, bunch of green. You know, as I open stuff and put it away, and more over here. What do we got? We got artifacts. I got more lands, a bunch of gold, and a bunch of blue. So a lot of cards. Those are all kind of like trade spot, and these are kind of like the non-trade type stuff in general, but it's still a mixed bag. Those are just like uncommons and commons that are somewhat playable. A stack of stuff that needs put away, a lot of rares and valuable cards there. And what else? Oh, these are just full of commons, nothing huge. I have a box here that is literally just stuff that is up for sale, so when those actually sell, I pack them up and ship them out. Also sitting on quite a bit of sealed product. I don't know how much this is really worth, but there's a lot of just some boxes. I got some Modern Horizons, some of these guys, and there's others somewhere else, but all these boxes are full of sealed stuff. Some of this stuff I probably should just open, like the Commanders, because they don't really change in value unless the cards in them do. Everybody knows. You know, there's no lottery cards in here. You know exactly what's in these Commanders, so I don't feel like they're good long term unless they've got amazing cards in them. But so I got some sealed too that I don't really calculate into my value usually, but since this is a collection video, all right, and a few others, there's nothing super special over here. This is basically a bulk in the corner of my room because it takes a lot of work to sort all these, but yeah, all bulk. I don't care what happens to these cards. I've went through most of them. Oh, there's even more. I've got shelves of bulk. So handling bulk's kind of a real problem for Magic players. A lot of times they end up with just a ton of cards that are like completely useless. But if you go through them, if you like actually need cards, you'll see stuff you could use if you're low on cards. So maybe I'll gift them to people. I don't know. What do you do with bulk? But yeah, that is my collection at the moment, basically in a nutshell. Quick version of it. End of year special. So thanks for watching. I do have some goals for next year for stuff I definitely want to pick up. A lot of stuff is just for special cards for Commander decks that are sometimes very valuable cards from old sets. I'm not gonna. I have like very specific cards in mind, but I'm not gonna name any of them directly because I don't want to inadvertently spike the price. Because yeah, as the new year comes around, I have a few special cards I want. Just like last year, my goal was basically to get those dual lands. I got them. Now I got to move on. Of course, I'd like more dual lands, but I don't know why I'm showing that. Just random. Just a lot of Commander cards. Like, I need a few very special cards for my Rasheen deck. Some of them are very expensive, and I'm hoping to get a couple of those this year to make this deck just a little more competitive because it is super fun. And it just, you know, a lot of stuff like that. So I've got a short list of about 10 cards I'd like to get for the next year. So stay tuned. I'll be opening cards, collections, playing Magic, the whole 9 yards here on this channel. And hopefully next year I'll be able to show you even more awesome upgrades to the collection. And we'll go from there. These pathways, people say they're terrible. I don't know. They're not as good as they seem, but they're okay. But yeah. That's my collection at the moment. Some of it. That's not 100% of it. There's probably more I'm missing. I've got cards everywhere, but that's the majority of it. And I'm happy to have it come along this far. It's really nice to start rebuilding. I've got a lot more rebuilding to do, but we will get there. And yeah, I essentially think of this as like, it is a game. Sure, it's a game. It's really fun, and I love playing it. But also, this is also like a part of my retirement. So basically, the money I put into Magic I kind of carefully do it. I'm not a financial advisor, obviously, and do as you want. But my theory is that basically I can keep playing this game as long as I'm thinking of it in long term as like an investment. Because if you're just like buying a couple boxes or whatever, or some commander decks, play once and then like give your cards away, you're kind of paying a lot of money just to play a couple games and then throwing it all away. It's better to invest long term and steady. And I've had a lot of lessons. You know, I bought some cards that were terrible buys. Like I bought some Cabal Coffers and some fetch lands right before Modern Horizons 2 came out, not realizing they were going to reprint it. So I lost my butt on those. Those were like my biggest losses of the year, was the stuff that got reprinted in Modern Horizons 2, basically. Ooh, that hurt. But I definitely, my best investments were stuff like those dual lands. Those were just going up and up since I got them. And there's others too, but too many to note. So, alright, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more content from me. My name is Matt. I'm a Magic player that just loves the game, you know, for all it is. And I'll be around. Peace. Let me know also what you're looking out for these years. I don't know. Are you a collector? Trying to get some engagement here, guys.